A lot of people said, you included, I think, that what I did to Ben was a little uncalled for. No, it wasn't. What I'm going to do to Colby's going to be uncalled for. And I can put my life on that, man.
What did he say?
I could give a fuck less about fighting this guy. He's a bum. He's a street Judas journeyman. He's got 20 fucking losses. I don't give a fuck, dude. The guy sucks. Mike, I've been beating him up for the last 8 years. I mean, I used to leave him unconscious in our living room for free.
But this individual, man, I just consider him a shit person, bro. Like, truly, of everybody I've ever met in the sport, this is a person that I truly have nothing nice to say about. So I'm not even gonna, like, keep talking about him, man, because it's just a foul person. And it's only going to bring foul things out of me to even talk about this individual. So, man, yeah, I'm looking forward to hurting him, bro. I'm looking forward to breaking his fucking face.
Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington went from close friends and training partners to bitter enemies over the course of the last 2 years. A friendship that started back in 2014 melted down spectacularly in 2020. But what caused things to start going wrong? Let's take a look in Beef Wars, Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. Jump back to 2017, Jorge and Colby were tight teammates at American Top Team and even lived together for a while. But a new bombastic style of trash talking employed by Colby after a win in Brazil led to a lot of heat that Masvidal initially defended Covington from.
Colby's Colby, man. He's crazy. He's on a different vibe. He's got different plans, man. I don't tell him what to do when it comes to that type of stuff. You know, he'll listen to me. But at the end of the day, that dude's crazy, man. He's going to do what he wants to do, man.
You know, the thing is with the entertainment business of fighting is, you know, you got to be an entertainer and you got to sell drama. You know, that's what this sport's all about now. You know, it's not sometimes, you know, the fans don't want to see two fighters that are going to be nice and there's no lead up to it, you know. The WWE style, the model sells. That's what sells pay-per-view. People want controversy, and controversy sells. So
Colby said some comments that maybe were across the line to some people, and the whole world's losing their fucking mind. They're overreacting for that shit, I think, you know? Big deal.
There needs to be a bad guy, good guy, you know? That's what creates drama and controversy, and that's what the fans want to see. None of these people are using their time after they get a win in the UFC to sell their next fight. They get on the mic and they don't know how to shoot a promo. They're like, oh, I'll fight anybody the UFC gives me. Okay, man, you want to keep making minimum wage and making your little $10,000 paychecks, cool, but you're not selling fights and you're not getting the fans interested in you. And that's what I do best. You know, I get the fans engaged. You know, I know how to sell fights. I know how to create the angle, and that's what it is. That's what the pro wrestling that they do. You know, they have the angles, and these guys don't know how to create angles, and that's why the UFC is boring these days. And ultimately, that's why Colby Chaos Covington came, to make the UFC great again.
Masvidal seemed willing to overlook Covington's new promotional style so long as it was pointed away from his friends and teammates. What really created this rift was Covington stiffing Jorge's longtime striking coach, Paulinho Hernandez, after he won the interim welterweight belt in June of 2018.
A lot of fighters, 50% of them, 40% of them, owe money to trainers, coaches, people that help them get to that moment. I can't relate with those people. That to me, you're a fucking cockroach. You know, somebody helped you, somebody gave you knowledge and wisdom to get to the next level, and you don't pay back by just giving them a little bit of money, you know, whatever the fair percentage is. And Colby fits in that fucking same cowardness. He ripped off two coaches that I actually introduced him to. So I feel like the asshole because the credit's on me. It's on my credit that he did these things, you know? So extra fuck that guy, you know?
Paulinho Hernandez. And Paulinho Hernandez trained them pretty much damn near free. And told them, just give me 5%, you know, of what you make. And they shook like hands, like a man, but he shook hands with a bitch, because Colby's not, you know. I did the same deal with Paulinho, and at the time I was making like $1,000 a fight, so he was getting like $50 a fight for training me for like 3 months, you know. But I kept it coming, Now he's getting a handsome check every time I fight, because I'm one of the biggest paid guys, you know, so he took that gamble on me. Colby finally got a chance to pay him out the money that was right, you know, 5% out of his title belt. And the total amount was $12,500. Guess how much he paid of that? Not a penny.
As time went on and Covington continued to make excuses about paying Hernandez, the two pulled further and further apart at the gym. And then the UFC booked Masvidal versus Diaz at Madison Square Garden after negotiations with Covington to face welterweight champion Kamaru Usman stalled. This is the point where Colby started taking shots at Jorge in the media, which George seemed to be pretty unprepared for.
See, he mentioned that he's the Batman and you're kind of like the Robin. So how like as far as factors, how does that play into it?
Well, I dropped something. He probably didn't even write that line. And two, he knows. I know he didn't write that line because he knows I'm not a superhero, man. I'm a fucking goon, man, and he's got to slow down a little bit because I'm not a superhero, man. He knows that shit, you know? He knows what he's doing, and it's whatever, man. It's cool, baby.
Were things really cool? They certainly weren't later that month at UFC 241 in August of 2019, when Jorge tracked down Colby in the stands.
I see Colby there, and he's been talking shit already for months online about me, about teammates. I go, hey, let's talk like men. Address me like a man. Mind you, he had just said that he called me and told me, hey, do a flying knee for the Ben Askren fight. Then when we start fighting, he says, we haven't talked in 2 years. The guy's just a habitual liar, and I love to just put it out there now. You know, so he hasn't talked to me in about 1.5 years, though. He's telling everybody, he just talked to me, gave that Ben Askren thing, and then he was saying all this stupid shit, and I go, hey, let me talk to you, man. He goes, man, be a professional, and he like turns around and goes, yo, let me fucking talk to you. Stop talking shit online. I can't hear nothing. Let's go outside and talk. Yeah. You know? And he's like, oh man, that's cool, bro. I'm a fucking pro. I'm not gonna be doing that. And he just kind of like turns his back and starts kind of walking away, like gets a little further from me. I said, all right, whatever. Before I know it, Dana White's calling me over here trying to be funny. Masvidal, I don't need you giving out no 3 pieces and soda. And I go, what the fuck? What are you talking about, man? I'm just fucking here watching the fights. What are you talking about? He goes, no, I got Colby over here telling me you're trying to fuck him up. Don't do nothing, all right? I'm like, this fucking snitch. I just really want to talk to him and tell him, what is your fucking problem? He won't do that, though. He's a coward. Just like Woodley said, he hides in corners when he was at the gym. That's what he does. But when this is around and there's a couple security guards behind him, man, that dude is a fucking pit bull all of a sudden, huh? And I can't relate with that shit, man, you know?
From there, the beef between Jorge and Colby moved into the American Top Team gym in Coconut Creek, Florida.
He sees me, security comes, coaches grab him, they put him away, they got me in the training separate room. He doesn't say a word to me. I fuck with him all the time because I'm the type of guy, if you say something right now, whenever I see you, I'm gonna hold you to that. It's just what I've been since I was a kid till right now. I don't have to prove it, everybody knows. At any given moment, I see my bully, the guy that's trying to conquer me, we're gonna find out. And if we could fight every time that we came across each other, we would. He knows it, that's why he runs at me, that's why, not runs at me, runs away from me, that's why I go where he eats at and wait for him. He doesn't eat at these places no more, because I'm going there to eat, and this little bitch is nowhere to be seen. And these are places that he constantly used to eat at. He knows that I know, so I've been at these places, just wanting to have a talk with him man to man.
You know, the last 6 months, you know, I'm going into ATT. Every time Dustin or George are in there, they're screaming across the thing. Like, I'm like, let's go. You want to fight? Let's fight right now. Stop talking this shit, trying to create drama in the gym so they have to make a decision like this or have to do a drastic action. But no, they just want to scream in front of coaches and disrupt all the pro fighters' training because they don't respect Dan and they don't respect ATT. It's pathetic, man. Like, they get such a good rap in the media. Like, these are just such good guys. But no one knows these people off the cameras. On the cameras, they play good guys, but off the camera, George and Dustin are pieces of shit and the lowest scum of the earth.
Colby took some high-profile shots at other fighters in the gym, including Dustin Poirier, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and Amanda Nunes. Things got so bad that in March of 2020, ATT's head, Dan Lambert, created a no shit-talking policy for all teammates, which Masvidal quickly broke on Twitter.
My reaction is I was shocked. You know, he completely went against Dan Lambert's word. You know, Lambert put out, you know, that headline that said no talking between teammates unless you're scheduled to fight. And George completely just questioned his authority. So, you know, as Dan Lambert, you know, I can't even imagine how he feels towards George, that he just completely tried to question him as a man and question his authority and just completely try and pretty much backtalk him. You know, it's just, that's pretty embarrassing, man. I feel bad for, you know, George that he did that to Dan Lambert.
In the ensuing chaos, both Masvidal and Covington were kicked out of American Top Team, although Masvidal was allowed to return a few months later. Colby Covington, freed from any sort of gym loyalty, went all in on his former teammates.
They're not, you know, this top team, you know, and they're not American because, you know, they don't believe in freedom of speech. So, you know, they kick someone out for freedom of speech. But, you know, the energy that was in the gym every day, I didn't want to complain, make those excuses, but it was bad. I mean, everybody knows the history that I've had with some of those fighters, you know, journeyman Street Judas Masvidal, you know, doofus Dustin Poirier, the fake nice guy, the fake charitable, family man. Oh, his little Jezebel of a wife, but that energy every single day, these guys trying to attack me when I'm training, stop my training session. They can't be professional and business-like and just mind their own business. They have to come over here crying. And I couldn't really train. And it zapped my energy, man. And my focus wasn't there because I was always watching my back, worried about if someone was going to come up behind me and sucker punch me. So it did affect my progression as a fighter. But that's why I'm glad I removed that situation and that bad energy, and I've gotten in good energy at Colby Covington Incorporated and MMA Masters.
Joanna Jordacek is a cunt. Dustin Doofus Poirier is a bitch. And Jorge Street Judas Masvidal is a pussy. And Jorge running all these narratives to the news. Oh, he's my teammate. I can't find him. Guess what, Damon? I'm not your teammate anymore. I'm not your roommate, but I'm still your fucking daddy, bitch. So what's your excuse now, George? I'm ranked higher. I got a better record. I'm more relevant. Why won't you fight me now? Want to know why he won't fight me, Damon? Because I'm still his fucking daddy, and I give him spankings.
Covington went so far as to try and drive a wedge between Masvidal and Dan Lambert by sharing details of an injury Masvidal had suffered that Lambert told him about.
I still have people at his gym that still love me, and I'm the people's champ for a reason, so I get the insider scoop on everything. So, that fragile dude, Street Judas Jorge Masvidal, he broke his ribs. He fractured his ribs last Saturday in training, and he's fragile, and he had to pull out of the fight. So, it's too bad that, people still love me over at his gym more than they even love him. He's a nobody, he's a bum, and that's the reason people are telling me, what's going on with him. He tried to keep it a secret. He didn't want to tell the media. He didn't want people to know, but now they know because of Colby Chaos Covington, only on Submission Radio.
For nearly 2 years, a lot of trash was talked between Covington and Masvidal, but both men were focused more on fighting champ Kamaru Usman than each other. Both knew that a fight was inevitable, and they built up the bad blood to a boil.
Or if that fragile guy, Street Judas Masvidal, would have somehow got lucky and hit a Hail Mary again like he did to make his career, I was nervous because he would have avoided me so hard. He would have never fought me. I mean, he's already avoided me so long, and the fans can see that now that he's a little bitch and he's my son. So if he would have won, I would have never got to fight for the title again. So
let's be real. He's got like 17 personalities, and not one of them is good for TV, So I can't wait to do my business, man. Me and him will scrap at some due point.
So all that talk, that I'm fragile, that it's in the streets, blah, 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 all the bullshit, your little tough street guy credit, it's gone, man. If you don't fight me, it's gone, man. So this fight needs to happen, man. The feud that this fight is and all the things he said in the media, he needs to come out here and fight me. I want to put on a beating for his, ex-wife, Maritza, the mother of his 2 children. She deserves an ass beating to this guy and, some money from alimony when, he gets his bank account padded for losing to me. So this fight needs to happen.
We're talking about the biggest coward in my sport, all across all divisions, all sports. I mean, this guy is the king coward. He can't control himself but being a coward. So I would love to smash his face in and get a handsome reward on it. Kobe's different because, like I said, he lived on my couch. He fucking borrowed money from me from time to time because he was so broke spending money on fucking poker. So it's just like, it's a little different with him, but it's still just business at the end of the day. No matter what, it's just business. It's just, I met him through business and it's still just all business. That's why I don't say it's personal. It's not like a friend of mine that I actually grew up with, somebody that came up with me. It's just some fucking idiot, What got allowed to get like close.
I mean, he can't say the same thing. He said all these things. He's talked reckless in the media. Oh, it's on site when I see Colby. Oh, I'm going to beat him up in the parking lot. Oh, I'm the sucker punch king. I run Miami. No, dude, I've seen you multiple times. You're scared. You're soft. I run Miami, and you're my son, Jorge Masvidal.
But if it was to be something personal, this is one of the more closer ones, And that's because, this individual lived in my couch for a year.
Yeah.
While he had his hand broken. Was living off my couch, was eating my meal prep food that they were giving me because I was already a sponsored athlete. He was an amateur coming in to the world, So it just makes it like, it just puts a lot of things in perspective. Like, you come into this world alone and you fucking probably go out alone as well, And this guy's a legit snake, so I can't wait to, ask John Jones about it. That motherfucking John Jones has nothing nice to say about it. How about Woodley? Woodley ain't got nothing nice to say about it, And think what you want of Jones and Woodley, but I know those guys personal. They ain't never done me wrong in any sense, Go ask them what to think about this guy. And the list goes on and on. American top team. The current gym that he's at now, they're having trouble because he hasn't paid. He finally just coughed the money. This guy owes money to numerous loan sharks in South Florida for his poker gambling debt. So I just hope he even makes it to the fight, bro, because this guy's in all types of trouble. And I'm going to be the nail to this motherfucking coffin, man. I just can't wait. I'm going to fucking give it everything I have to get in this guy's fucking face and break his will, because that's the first thing I'm going to do. So, man.
The two men finally fought at UFC 272 on March 5th, 2022. A fight that was largely dominated by Colby Covington. In Covington's victory speech, he continued his targeting of former teammates with another call-out of Dustin Poirier. However, it seems his battle with Masvidal is far from over. In their latest confrontation, Masvidal apparently tracked Covington to a Miami steakhouse, allegedly catching his former friend and training partner outside with a couple of sucker punches to the eye and jaw. Masvidal has since been arrested by Miami police on felony assault charges, but is currently out on bail. Where does this beef go from here? If you'd like this video, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to see more, comment below with which beef you'd like to see next. We've already set up Francis Ngannou's versus the UFC. Name it in the comments and we'll pick the best one and make it next. Thank you and have a wonderful day.